Well, folks, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back on Facebook, on Twitter /X, and also on YouTube as well. If this is your first time coming across my YouTube channel, please do subscribe. Click that button below as well. We have a good bit to talk about. I haven't done a podcast in about 10 days, so back in the rhythm of things. We're transfer window so far. Some people might say, what transfer window? Because there's been not enough players brought in. One player so far, two departures, two loans. There's not been no concrete departures. So we'll get into it. Ross County the weekend. We'll talk about the bookie game as well. So for anyone that does watch my YouTube channel, I've been busy the last couple of days. I'm in the middle of moving at the moment. So that's why there hasn't been content put out as much as usually. But they're all certainly welcome in. Tell us where you're watching from, like regards to town wise, where you are. I know there's a lot of people are getting frustrated with the Celtic board because the lack of faces being brought in. Looking at that press conference today, it didn't convince me enough to say, well, we're going to get a couple of players in before the end of this window. Things can change. Things can change a lot in football, but it looks like Brendan Rodgers is being missold a project, funds. There's funds available for them. It's not a case where you can only spend like 10 million or so. There is players in the market you can go out and actually identify and guess. So we'll see what happens. Voice your opinions in the comments, folks. Great to see Glass Mania in. There will be no other signings. We need to finish with a tough league run in with Greg F and Taylor at left back. We've been saying it for months upon months. We've been saying it since the start of the season. We need another left back. We went out and bought Bear Bay for 3.7 million, and he's played a handful of games. It's just not good enough. We recruit these players from Argentina, from different leagues, and some are just not cut out for it. I'm not expecting every player to come through the door to be a success. That's the joys of a football team. You go out and get players and expect them to live up to the hype and actually perform and play for the badge. But some of these players just don't seem interested, and I don't like labeling players as dead wood because that's disrespectful, because these players have obviously played decent for previous clubs, or there's something going on in the background that's not getting the best out of these players. But I just think Rodgers, looking at the way Rodgers spoke today about incoming signings, there's talk in the background, a bit active in the background. We want to see players brought through them doors being announced, and I'm not expecting like a load of players. I'm expecting one or two signings, expecting a goalkeeper or left back, but time can change. So there's 51 years, folks. As I said, it would be really appreciated if you could go over to the YouTube channel. It's free to subscribe, free of charge as well. Just press that button if you can, please. It'd be really good. We've been obviously linked with a couple of strikers. We've been linked with the Aberdeen striker, Bojang. We've been linked with Pierre Van Hooydonk, some Sydney that plays for Bologna. It's not convincing at the moment. I was very enthusiastic about 10 days ago when I was last on the pod about getting a couple of players in, but it doesn't look like we're getting many in. We got Nicholas Conn, and we didn't really need another winger unless they're thinking of like getting offloading Mikey Johnson, or Abad is going. No, Mikey Johnson is being linked with a move to West Brom. Abad is being linked with a handful of clubs on a loan move, but I can't see it happening. I can't see Abad going, to be honest with you, folks. I really can't see him going, especially when he's on a long-term contract. I know it would be only a loan move, but let's see what happens. What do you think of Brendan Rodgers so far? I like the guy, but the football hasn't been the most comprehensive. Look, we're still top of the league, which is the most important thing. We won our derby games. I just feel like we were desperate in the Champions League at times. I know we got the draw against Atletico at home. We were lucky against Lazio. We won against Feyenoord, but does it matter? Was that post-match European football after Christmas? No, there wasn't post-European football after Christmas. I feel like he doesn't get his way, Graham. What I mean get his way is getting a bit of quality, and if it's 2 or 3 players in this window and he's being missold the project, it's not going to work out for everybody, to be honest. He'll get frustrated and he'll probably jump ship. And I don't want Brendan to jump ship. And I think there's stuff there for, good times ahead for Brendan if he gets the right tools to work with. And that's to be honest with you. And that's regards to any manager. Look, there's money in the bank, and why are we not seeing this money being spent? It just feels like it's being pocketed. And I think Celtic are quick enough to be selling players than buying players at this moment in time. And all of us don't want Matt O'Riley gone. We don't want Matt O'Riley gone. He said it today. Came out and said that Matt O'Riley is not going in this window. And I'm not trying to shit store this up, folk, or speculate on this too much. But let's be honest, like, if a lucrative offer comes in for Matt O'Riley, the club will snap and take it. Let's go could come back in and offer maybe another 10 million. The club might start turning around and saying, So I don't know. He just didn't seem confident enough. If you haven't seen the interview today, folks, give it a watch. I just looking at his body language, was like, what, he looks like he's kind of fed up, and he's being told to work with the youth players and the project players or whatever they are, and the club will identify and decide who's right and wrong to go out for. I think he will go in the summer, to be honest with you. Like, I'd let him go in the summer. Once we win the league, if we get 25 million from him, we can get 30 million. It depends on if he plays well, if he gets picked for the Danish team in the Euros as well. That could bring up the valuation. And then his stats could go up as well. There's loads of football he played running halfway through the season. You could think about it in that way. So see what happens. I don't blame you, Tommy. Honestly, I don't. I feel the same as well. Andrew's backed in his first two windows because Lowell Senior wasn't top of the table. Lowell Junior wasn't in the door. And that's, to be honest with you, he was backed. Andrew's backed. And I know he identified targets from the J League, and their season was finished, but still not good enough that you don't see this ambition. Brendan's been around long enough. He's dealt with a lot of clubs. He should know how this works. He should know how to prepare. He should be having that constant communication. And he probably is with the recruitment, with the board. And at the end of the day, we want to see results. And results is players coming in the door, strengthening that team. We don't want to be having an injury crisis at left back or an injury crisis with goalkeepers. I know we have Bain and Seacrest there. Seacrest will probably go, as I said so many times on this channel. We'll see what happens with Seacrest. Just happy Matt's staying. I'll feel more relieved, to be honest with you, once the window's closed. I still believe there's a 10% chance he will go. And that's, to be honest with you, I still think, money comes in, the club will accept and let him go. So at this moment of time, Brendan Rodgers came out and said, Matt O'Riley is not for sale and he's not leaving in this window. But he didn't say it in the most confident way, to be honest, because we all know how football can turn upside down, especially with transfers. 100% believe that the board has sold Brendan an absolute dud. 100%. I've been saying this since October. I just feel like, he's been pleading that SOS out to try to get the players in, or try identify, and, he doesn't want to be going down the same route as he did before he left with Jeremy Tojang, Ollie Burke, Timo Weir. Look, Timo Weir's been playing outstanding for Juventus at the moment, but where's Ollie Burke? Where's Jeremy Tojang? Oh yeah, it's madness. It's absolute madness so far. How are we going, Paul? I hope you're well. Do you think the board doesn't want to spend player? I just don't know what they're doing. I just don't know if they're just not actually serious. Like, at the end of the day, it's not just the league that's up for stake here. There's 60 million in the pot as well for the Champions League, for the new VAM Champions League next season. So, and there's more games in it as well. There's going to be 8 games next season. So let's be honest. I'd rather be safe than sorry. And if it comes to a case that if they were to sell Matt O'Riley, look, the chances are quite slim as well. I was going to say slim, not slow. Quite slim of them selling Matt O'Riley. And nobody came out and said today that he's not being sold. If they do take an offer from him, you can kiss the league goodbye. Honestly, you can kiss the league goodbye. I know we have quality there. We have Bernardo. We have the likes of Atate coming back. We need Matt O'Riley. He's been a standout player. And I'm not panicking about, as I said, there's only a 10% chance that he will go in this window. And then I'll probably go 50 chance in the summer. How are you doing, Plunge? I hope you're well. It's great to see you in. Evening Keith Matt is staying to the summer. That's good news. We got a new striker, and he's well. Look at the situation with Rocco Vata. I know a lot of yous had his heads torn on Rocco Vata, and I've said it so many times on the channel. I love to see Celtic keep Vata, but if his head's not in it, you let the man go. But it's a negotiation talks there. He's been training with the first team. He scored against Bucky when he came off the bench. There must be a player there. And I know Brendan came out and said there's loads of work to be done, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Rocco Vata. You know. How's it going, Jerry? What's the story? I hope you're well. We hear a lot about the board, but Rodgers seems relaxed about signing surely when he took the job because he's probably getting spoon fed. It's probably another PR stunt. You know, at the end of the day, he's not stubborn as Ange. Ange has a certain way of doing things. Brendan just seems like he, takes a slap on the wrist and just gets on with it because he's getting a decent amount of money. I don't want a manager just for the sake of he's in here for the money. He needs to have his own input of how the operations are ran around the team, not just for the sake of, oh yeah, okay, there's these players, I'm going to make them better, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. If he wants to bring Celtic to some sort of competing level beyond of getting through a Champions League group stage or being a team in the Europa League that can actually go far, and he needs to get the right players in. Yeah, we can have a youth system and get through Mitchell Frame and Rocco Vatas and players like that, but we need to get other players in that can give them the experience. And we're lacking leadership. We have Joe Hart, we have Callum, we have Cameron Carter-Vickers. That's really it. There's not enough leaders in that team, and that's concerning for me, especially going into the title race. Even though we've won the title so many times and we've won trebles and we've gone on, I just feel like there's needs to be more at it. And that's, to be honest with you, especially there could be an injury crisis around the corner as well. How's it going? Miss chatting to you face to face. And do you think the board are short-term European memory? 100%. They take the Champions League money and they'll take the Jota sale, and they're really literally about 25% of that or 30% of that money pumped back into the team. It's all pocketed. That's how I feel, and I could be wrong. The board are playing Russian roulette with this season's league by not strengthening the squad. If we miss out on the big prize money, it will be unforgivable. 100%. I agree with you, Hazel. Definitely. The numbers are quite strong tonight, folks. Good to see a lot of people in. Everyone's asking me how am I doing. I'm doing quite good, folks. As I said, I'm in the middle of moving property at the moment, so that's been bigger on my mind. There's been one or two snotty comments as well from people on YouTube saying, "Oh, this is your regular fortnightly comment saying you're taking time off." There's bigger things than YouTube and talking about Celtic, folks. There's family stuff to deal with, work matters. There's other stuff there that I have a lot of my life going on. And this is good to come on this and chat to you about football and give you my input as much as I can. Look, I'm not the smartest on the kettle, but look, it's good to have a chat with you and communicate with you, because there's a lot of people that come onto this YouTube channel and Facebook channel and like listen to me talk. I just want to give a massive shout out as well to St. Lawrence's CSC and Drogheda for giving me the privilege to interview George Gadetti last Saturday. It was a good crowd. It was a good night. Good meeting David McKendrick and Brian as well from the St. Lewis's bar in Belmedina. It was a really good spectacle, and it's always hard getting on the stage to interview a former player, a cult hero. And I have to say, George gave me the time of the day for him. It was good chat with him, really, really good night. And really enjoyed it. And to whoever met me as well out there, said that watched the channel as well, really appreciate it as well. At the end of the day, this channel goes on with your support, not with me blabbing all, is your support. So we'll get back into the comments and I'll stop the waffling. Hope you're well. I don't think any of us are being surprised with the lack of ambition. I just think a lot. I think 8 out of 10 fans are feeling once Lawwell is being brought back in, which he has in that position, you knew that the money's gonna, dry up on the transfer activity. There's money there. There's hills of money there, but I know they've said that pumping the money into doing up Barrafield and Lennoxtown and other things, other projects, but you need to invest in the biggest core asset, which is the team. The team brings in the revenue. And there's problems. Do you think this is a problem, folks? That's to be honest with you. Look, I know what we're talking about now. Do you feel like we're on the verge of a problem already? Is it a problem? We have 6 days left in the transfer window. Do you feel like since the window opened, you think this was going to be the way it's going to be, or did you have a bit of optimism that we were going to get 3 or 4 players in? Because it can change. I just don't want us going out and getting loan players. Panic. Well, I wouldn't say panic boys. Players coming in on these like loan moves. Look at what happened with Nat Phillips. He was an absolute disaster. This didn't work out. Massive thanks to the for Celtic treating Bucky. He's had a good time, didn't he? It's 5,000 Bucky fans. Cheers, Jerry. Guaranteed that Lawwell won't be controlled like the last time. Hope you're well, Snitch. Hope you're doing well. Everyone's saying the same thing about Lawwell tonight. They're all losing it. Peter Lawwell is coming back, and it's the worst decision the club has ever made. I'll pick up for Lawwell one sake of it. Prior to this coming back in the past, he's cleared the books and he actually got us in revenue, worked the business that smart way. But I think it's just penny pinching now. It's beyond a joke at this rate with this transfer window. And even the last transfer window, like, we're going out and buying players, like we're getting guys from the South Korean second division claiming that they're gonna dominate the league and using Celtic as a stepping stone, and that now they're on loan. And look, I wish Quan the best at St. Mirren, but like, where did he pick up these players? Like, seriously, imagine saying that. Like, there's a lot of angry folk tonight. Well, not angry, just annoyed. Some things are not surprised as well. How's it going, Jim? How are you getting on? The board are only interested in profit. That's it. They're quick enough. They'll be quick enough to sell Matt O'Riley, then bring in 2 or 3 players. Let's be honest. They'll be quick enough to sell our assets, even though we don't need to sell our assets. We're not in that position where we need to sell. We don't need to, because we have money in the bank. It was a case that we didn't have the money in the bank and the players are performing like this, and we needed to sell a player to bring in 1 or 2 players. I could understand that, but we're not in that position. And that's what a lot of people are getting very impatient about. But thanks for the comment, Jim. The board will get half of the 60 million when Matt leaves in the summer. Look, we got Matt for little to nothing from AK Dons 2 years ago, and the football he's played this season, even prior to that, done well last season. The first season the first 6 months he was really good as well, well done, keep with your show, George Cadetti. Any more shows in the future? Nothing in the pipeline at the moment. I'm always open to if there's any Celtic supporters groups watching at the moment and they're looking for an MC for an event, hit me up. I'd love to do it. As I said, I've done Chris Sutton live, I've done George Cadetti live. Why not? I'm not shy to get on the stage and talk to them, don't put yourself down. I'll put myself down, just being honest. There's just other stuff going on. Lawwell's doing my brain, and I want a board that cares. See, the thing is, you're not going to get a board that cares. They all say they're Celtic fans. They all want the best, but you see their salaries going up and not enough quality coming in. There's been quantity coming in, but there hasn't been quality. And I'm hoping we do eventually change personnel on that Celtic board. But look, it's a job for the boys. It feels like, the recruitment is not Celtic class. Now, I want to ask Topic Talker, I want to ask you in the comment, what is Celtic class? What would you define Celtic class? What would you define a transfer window as in, like, spending wise? What would define it to you? What would you like to see the club do? And I know obviously you've got to say bring in players. Well, what are we talking about? Are we talking about smashing this transfer Edward fee of 9.5 million? This is what I want to know in the comments. Back to this crap, Arjun. It was pending, wasn't it, Joe? To be honest with you, it really was. And look, we have a game to look forward to the weekend. Cameron Carter-Vickers is back, and at the same time, will we see Nicholas Cohen start against Ross County, or will he go with Liel Abada? I'd probably go with Abada, to be honest with you, and then bring Cohen on. Plunge the board if taking 20% of profit. Well, that's it. We don't want to be going down the same road of what happened back in 2020. You know, bringing in players and not being ambitious enough. And look at the price we paid. And I don't think Brendan will stick around if he was to lose the league. And I think there'll still be a few fans out there that are still not happy with his appointment as well. And the only way you can win people over is by winning football games and winning trophies. As much as what you do in the past has either a bitter taste in your mouth, but it's the only way you repair that or build that connection. You knew it was happening, didn't you, when the banker announced it was a 100% penny pinching, Trey. 100%, you know. Good evening, Kieran. How are you getting on? Lawwell won't go, folks. What's the point? They're not gonna get rid of Lawwell. They're not gonna get rid of Nicholson. They're not gonna get rid of this. There's no point saying to sack the board and sack this. They're not going to. If the club are in a healthy place, why would you sack a board? The only time you think about sacking a board is when your club is in financial trouble and when you're mid-table, or when you owe the bank so much money, kind of like the early 90s, you know, that kind of scenario. But we're not in that scenario. We're opposite. We're in a healthy position. We're top of the league. We have 70 million in the bank. We're in a position to go into the Champions League next season again. You know, we have revenue from this season's Champions League. We have revenue from winning the treble last season. You know, the stocks are doing quite well. You know, the shares are doing quite well. So, like, I understand the frustration of people saying sack the board, sack this and sack that. It's not the board are not going to get sacked at the end of the day. If Vata is signing an extension, which seems possible, we won't get a striker in. And that's what I think. That's why it could be a case that he's had to bring Vata back in the mix as well. I know Vata can play in the wings and he can play up front as well. Maybe it's just as a case that Celtic are thinking of youth and thinking of, you know what, we don't need to spend this money. Let's just give the youth players a chance. And it's great to see the youth players get a chance. It really is, but we need a bit of quality as well. You know, these youth players can come in and have 3 or 4 bad games and their Celtic career is tarnished. They might not get that chance again under that manager, and they might have to go out on loan, or they might have to go somewhere else. You know, and that's what happens in football. Of course he is. You know, of course, and that's the way it works. When you're the majority shareholder, you have a bigger say in anything, don't you? You know, you call the shots. It's a massive problem when we're being linked with a 7 million bid for Bristol City, Tommy Conway. Why is this player? Because he scored 2 goals against West Ham. Because Celtic don't like going in and actually sniff around the actual English Premier League. They'd rather go for Championship or League One. And look, it's paid off a matter early, but that's the market we're tapping in with. Like, when I knew this was going to happen, kind of last summer. And look, it was disappointing in the summer, like with the transfer window. It really was like we were all coming towards the end of that. We were feeling the same, and I know Phillips came in at the time, and Bernardo came in and stuff. But it had that desperate vibe going into it, you know. So, folks, do subscribe to the channel as well. Let us know how the microphone is as well on the live. This is the first time I've used it in this room, so I know it's a bit of an echo. We have proven players and their value is good, but 1 or 2 higher players are missing. 100%. It's just when you mean higher players, level players, you're missing that kind of player that can come off the bench and take the game with a scruff of the neck, or, you know, get them late winners, or get that crunch and tackle, get that lift of the crowd. And we don't have enough of them at the moment. So we only have 3 or 4 of them in the team, and, you know, we'll win the league. I still believe we'll win the league. I don't think we're going to throw the league away. The only way we're going to throw the league away if we get rid of Matt O'Riley, to be honest with you. I told you, boy, Celtic. If I had the money, I'd love to buy Celtic. I buy enough Celtic here now. Celtic. See. Yeah, that's the thing. You can cut the wage bill down. As I said, you take the McCarthy's off, you take the Mikey Johnsons off, you take the David Turnbull off. You clear that wage bill. You're looking at like getting one player in easy enough there straight away. You clear the Bear the Bay as well. There's so many players you could clear out at that club, and you know, you're looking at Seacrest, Turnbull, Bear the Bay, Johnston. As much as I don't want Lee Alabada to go, Lee Alabada could go. Well, all this stuff that's gone on in the background with him, everything with him and Israeli media and stuff, you know, you don't know what could happen, you know. It's been strange times of football. But I don't think we're going to get 3 signings. We're lucky to get another one in, to be honest with you. And that's to be honest, like, probably get one more player in. They're not going to break the bank. You know, if they think the club's in a healthy position, why should they go out and buy a player for maybe 7 million or 8 million? You know, like there will be a day when Carter Vickers will be sold. There will be a day when Matt O'Reilly's sold. You know, I'm not worried about Kyogo because Kyogo's what 29 now, is he? Yeah, he's still. This is the peak of his career, you could say, but it's not going to happen. I don't think we're going to spend 7 to 10 million. To be honest, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm actually wrong. I hope I'm eating my words up, to be honest. Hey, Joseph, I hope you're well. For me, the board will keep the money in the bank accounts and we'll have cover for all them positions. CCV, Abada could be next if too late. If we lose the league, it could happen. It could happen, and we all hope it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. We'll see. Hope you're well. Is that Holland? Is it, Tommy? Put the Dublin background on. Every time I put the Dublin background is on when I'm in Dublin. When I'm in Glasgow, I put the Glasgow background on. I'll put the Dublin background on for a laugh. Hold on. Let's see. There we go. There we go. There's the Dublin background on for you. Let's see. Folks, if you want to join the membership, it'd be appreciated. There's not been enough members this month. And look, I appreciate every bit of support, regardless is watching it for free or something for free. That's the most important thing. If you want to donate 99p to the membership as well, there's a monthly membership there. It'd be really appreciated. On YouTube, you just click onto the channel and there's an option where it says join. You know, it's good to have a handful of members that constantly tune in and constantly comment below. And most of all, just the regular people. You can't afford it, it's okay. Don't be worrying about it. At the end of the day, there's bigger things we power. That 99p could get you a pot noodle, you know. Yes, I agree with you, but Brendan should never have been brought in the first half of the season. Should have brought in the first. Do you mean that he should never have been brought in as a manager, or you mean that he should have got more ammunition for the first window? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right. Doing all right. If I wasn't doing well, I wouldn't be on tonight, folks. That's just a fact as it is. I'm a busy man, but I always try to come on as much as I can to chat to you. Even though it might sound like the same broken record, it may sound like the same talk that we had the week before, the week this. But we all want the same. We all want the same thing. We all want players brought in, want the team winning the league, and winning the Scottish Cup. You know, success is key. There's no such thing as second place in Celtic's history. We don't finish second place. We need to finish first. You know, you finish second, you might as well just forget about it, chuck it all in. It's been a horror show of a season, and that rate you could say. But no, this season's been all right. It's been a roller coaster. There's been some really good games. There's been some really games I've been frustrated. And look at this month ahead in February, we have Aberdeen away. And we have Hibs away, back-to-back games. And if that mob can go last night and beat Hibs 4-0, what's stopping us? Do you know what's stopping us, folks? The problem that's stopping us
beating Hibs away is Brendan Rodgers has never won at Easter Road with Celtic in his 2 terms. Just honestly can't do it. Honestly can't get a result at Easter Road, you know. But that's it. They just want to buy cheap, put these players as project players and try sell big. We need to get a bit of quality in, you know. And that's with the manager needs to be stubborn and say, I'm not happy with this. I think we should have 2 or 3 players brought in the end of this window and work your socks off. These guys are doing an AGM, getting pay increases across the board. What are they getting pay increases for if they're not delivering the goods and making the fans happy? And we're not trying to sound like we're spoiled. It's only one player that's been brought in. A manager has been calling it for months upon months. If he turned around and didn't call it before this window, you'd be like, all right, maybe Brendan's happy with the squad he has, but it's clearly there. It's all over the place. How is James McCarthy still at the club? Maybe just can't offload him. Maybe just don't want to terminate his contract. Crazy, isn't it? Realistic, how much do you think we'd be spending on a big game player? 7 million. Max. 7 million. I don't think they'll beat the Edward one. Thoughts on Cameron Carter-Vickers and his knee. Has Celtic rushed him back too soon? All his hamstring injuries have been the same knee. I hope not. I hope we didn't rush him back too soon because we have Naroski there as well with Scales. I think Naroski will be a good player. Carter-Vickers has been our best defender for the last 10 years, you know. And I love Vickers, but maybe we have rushed him back. Time will tell. Only time can tell. I hope he doesn't pick up another injury because look at the amount of games, big games he's missed this season as well. Glasgow Derby, some Champions League games. You've asked the question, what would you like to see? I would like to see 3 decent signings. I think a lot of people want 3 decent signings. Brian, hopefully, not leaving unless he gets a big payoff. 100% Dougie, that's what he's looking for. And you think with him being a Celtic fan, you know, like I'm sure fans have said things. I'm like, why you at the club, boy? And I know that sounds vicious, but why is he collecting 20 odd grand a week and he's not even near the squad? It's absolutely scandalous. And look at James. James had a decent career at Hamilton and Everton and Crystal Palace and done well for the Republic of Ireland as well. There's talks of Lee Carsley getting the job as well. But yeah. It's not even that we're buying. Like, we're buying a bit of everything, you know. We're buying a bit of, you know, useless so-called caliber. And we're buying players that, you know, have potential. You know, you just want to have someone that that like, oh my God, that's actually a decent signing. That's a bit of ambition. At this moment in time, there's a lack of ambition flying around this month. I know we all have this January mood, but come on, 2. It's nearly 3 weeks without Celtic. You get back in the mix. Yeah, we hammered Bucky, but the signs are still there. We need to strengthen. I know Bucky had our chances and stuff like that, but like we need to strengthen that back. You know, we need to strengthen goalkeeper. We're very vulnerable at the back regards to set pieces and corners. We just need to get it together. And I'm not expecting every keeper to be unstoppable and get clean sheets every game, but like, come on, control your box. Plunge. Oh, there's a conversation going on between Plunge and Rebel. Should we go for him? Look, he's 6'4", 17 goals. A couple of goals in Europe, scores in the big games. Why not? We need an option up front, don't we? Because as I said, there's a couple of times already. Dennis, always not a second choice striker. You know, yeah, he wins a lot of free kicks, but he doesn't not enough goals from all. You know, just missing that Yakimakis, Emmy. Should never saw him this time last year. McCarthy is a prime example of what's the matter with this club. Exactly. It's just topic. It's just down to the culture. that's around the club. It's about the people from the top down to the bottom. And the people down the bottom, which is the fans, even though we should make the club, football's nothing without the fans. It just feels like we're being missold as well. Yous are paying the season books. Yous are expecting, to, after coming off a success last year. A lot of people are expecting the treble because you're bringing a manager in like Brendan. But at the same time, let's be honest, half them players that came in that last window, they're not his players. These are identified well before Brendan was brought in, There he is, the man himself, Big Ro. How are you getting on? I hope your speedy recovery as well, bro. Hope you're doing well. I'm going to try to do a load more pods. As I said, I'll be trying to get on as much as I can. I know sometimes the solo pods are the best pods because it just means I can get through these comments and chat to you more as well. I want to know how you're getting on, Ro, with the whole this season. How you feeling about Brendan? How you feeling about Matt O'Riley? You think he's going to be sold in this window, even though Brendan came out and said today that he's not for sale? As I said, I feel like there's a 10% chance in my mind that he could go, because Ange had authority. That's the difference. Ange took no shit off that board because Lawwell wasn't top of the board then. He was, he was floating around, but he wasn't there. Banker was there. Michael Nicholson was in the recruitment department, and then obviously he moved up a tier. Let's have a look. Gotta miss Ange sometimes. As much as we're top of the league, I still miss Ange sometimes. I can't not miss Ange. Corey's always cheering me up. Just looking at the press conferences these days, I'm just like, I love Brendan, but I love Ange more. I wish Ange the best, some really good times under Ange and some really good times under Brendan as well. And we have to back the manager and back the team, and we want success. And I just feel like the board just need to step up a little bit and understand that the fans are concerned. They're concerned because what's the point of paying all this money, pumping something into something that you don't see getting rewarded? Evening. Vista Garden's not going to happen. They're looking for about 7 million. Bromley looking for 7 million for Vista Garden. At the moment, they're pushing for the Danish league. They're not gonna sell Vista Garden in this window. They're in a title race with Midtjylland, which is Stevchenko's former club, and Copenhagen, which Elyounoussi plays for at the moment. So the real problem is their club. It's not even that. It's just there's money there, and I'm not expecting us to go out and splash all the money. Like not. Just be honest. Just turn around and say, right, we're going to spend 20 million, or we're going to spend 15 million, and the club might not feel like we're fit to spend that money because they might need it for a rainy day. A rainy day is this month, and what I mean this month is you strengthen left back, you strengthen goalkeeper, so you won't have an injury crisis, or you can bring a bit of competition in, which keeps Greg Taylor on his toes, keeps Joe Hart on his toes. I don't think he's going to come to us, to be honest. Like, it's an interesting market, Tommy. Like, obviously, we went into the Eredivisie. I got Giacomakis from VV Veno. I can't see us going out to Alkmaar. And I know we haven't done business with Alkmaar recently. But I know we've done business with Utrecht recently with Barkas and stuff. So I got confused because they're both wear red and white. And the lack of vision of the board have an impact on the morale of the team. 100%. Because it's what the manager sells to the team. It's about the vision that he puts out there. And if he feels like he's not getting the best around, and there's one or two different discussions being heated, it can all come down to the team. At the end of the day, we don't want it affecting the team. We've seen what happened when the likes of the argument's sake, when the Green Brigade ran around the stadium was like a morgue. It was like a morgue when the boys were in, and you can see a big difference now when we have the atmosphere back. The atmosphere urges the players on, the 12th man, and that's for everyone in the stadium as well. Hi Edward, I hope you're doing well. Great jumper, by the way. I was at the jack of the jumper. Looks like a jumper. Look at Kaiser. I told you, drop me an email. You just drop me a message on the socials and we'll get it going. We won't spend 20 million on 3 players. Let's be honest, especially in this window, we're not going to spend it, Rebel. It's not going to happen. What's the recruitment team been doing? Surely our targets shouldn't be identified. Because we're getting players that were purchased for 500k 18 months ago and buying them for like 3.5 million. That's the type of mentality of the board. Yes, Nicholas Cohen looks like a player, but come on. I think it's overpriced for him at the moment. Time will tell. Time will tell. I hope we make me words up. I say that. Let's see. Realistically, how much do you think we'd get for Matt O'Riley if he played for England? He'd be 40 million. I think at this moment in time, 25 million. But I think if he stays on to the season, the rest of the season, and plays in the Euro, maybe pushing 30 million. Pushing it, I feel like I want to sleep at the wheel at this rate. I'm wrecked tonight. No, yeah, they are sleeping at the wheel. I just feel like it's lack of ambition. Like, as you said, actions speak louder than words. Bingo, Keith. Spend 15 million, 7 million on a left back. I'm not going to do it. 7 million on a striker and a lone keeper. Not a bad shout, but probably not going to happen, innit? We'll see what happens. I know the likes of Sky Sports, Anthony Joseph broke the article yesterday about Atletico Madrid coming in with this loan move for Matt O'Riley. There wasn't panic, to be honest. See, when this happened yesterday, it's like, we'll talk about it, but can't see them Celtic selling him, especially because he's at the maturing under Brendan. He's playing probably his best football, his career under Brendan as well. Is Brendan more of a yes man than Ange? 100%. 100%, William. 100%. I just feel like he's, the leads on him. He's afraid to bark. He's afraid to bark and call for them players to the board face to face. He says it publicly, but it's sitting down and saying, look, I'm a manager. I want to bring this club forward. We all want success. And for success, we need to bring the right players through the door. Because the players that want to be gone, we need to free them up. And we bring the players in, get them out as well. And it's going to take time. Look, it's all going to take time. You can't just click your fingers and get someone in. There's always behind the transfer what's the problem. You got to think about relocating your family to another country. You got to think about the wages you're being offered. You got to think of maybe your contract you left as well, how much the club are going to offer, how fit you are, how much regular football you've been playing. That sharpness might not be there as well. There's a lot of aspects behind a transfer that a lot of people don't think. They just think of a football manager. Oh, let's buy this player. It's not that. There's a lot of elements behind the transfer. So one day maybe I'll get Anthony Joseph on the channel and he'll talk you through exactly what goes on, the inputs of it. Good old opinions between. He cost 9 million. He cost 9 million. French Eddie did. Musa was a great player. I loved Musa. There is a lot of 100%. There's a lot of James in Holland. 100%. Eredivisie is a cracking league, and there is some really good players in there, and there's players that we could lure in for 20 grand a week. Definitely. 100%, Tommy. It's not all about Brendan. No, it's not all about Brendan, Paul. Throw another question in. You're more welcome to. Can we tell Atletico they can have Matt O'Riley and send Mikey Johnson instead? They can have David Turnbull if they want as well. I think our time with David Turnbull's done. And look at David. David came into the club in 2020, and some really good moments in the Celtic shorts. A couple of hat tricks in there as well. Some iconic free kicks in as well, and some really good goals. But I'd move David on. You could sign a pre-contract as well, if anyone. Thought of Shankland, Bojang being difficult. Is it really? They score goals, is proven, because they probably think that the likes of Hearts and Aberdeen are going to try bump up the price tag because they know that Celtic are chasing the league. That's what probably the situation is, you know. We do need a body up front. And I think the likes of a real good, tall, physical player that wins free kicks and he's a proven goal scorer as well, especially domestically. That's the type of players that we could get. But a lot of fans are really on the whole Shankland thing. They don't want Shankland because of his background and all this malarkey. But look, he's 18 goals this season. Well, it was 18 the last time I checked. He is. I'm sure he'll probably leave that club, you know, seeing Jordan Henderson leaving, so I wouldn't be surprised Moose would be next, you know. Just a friendly argument. Exactly. It's not even an argument, it's just a disagreement in a different context. That's all it is. There's a lot of James in Holland. Oh, plunge. I'd be happy with one of them, to be honest. They're asking for 6 million for Shankland. I wouldn't pay 6 million. Pushing at its highest for 4. And all the years are probably like 4 million for a 28-year-old. Not a chance, Keith. Because he's a proven goal scorer. He's a Scotland international as well on top of that. And also people might say, well, London Dykes is a Scotland international. He's not worth 4 million. But he's just can't hold up a touch. He's not a bully, you know. Oh, 100%, Paul. 100%. We'll see. But folks, I'm just going to remind you again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, there's a good few comments coming in from YouTube tonight, from Facebook, from X as well. Please go on and subscribe. Free of charge. If you want to join the membership, go ahead. It's 99p for the membership as well. And you know, every little helps at the end of the day. So hopefully one day I'll have a fancy light so you can see me better and clearer. Save hard for that. Money doesn't grow on trees. Nothing wrong with a good scouting system, finding players who heard of it. But that's it. Like, there is some gems in there that we've got over the years. Like, look at Jeremy Frimpong. Jeremy Frimpong. There's a loop in his contract. He could be sold for 40 million. Like, so there is gems there that we look at. The Alabama, he's been a gem. Got him for around what, 3 to 4 million. You know, and people are like, that's ludicrous money paying that for a 19-year-old. But I think the Alabama could be maybe sold for 3 times the price that we purchased them from the Israeli league. So we'll see what happens. Oh, do you like the tricolour in the water, by the way? You see the tricolour on the right hand side. Well, see, I'm talking about recent times. Yeah, Larson was one of the transfers of the century, you could say. Definitely up there. I have loads of ring lights, but I'd rather have one of them big ones that you get in the hairdressers. You see the ones in the hairdressers, one of them ones, just pure, proper, crystal clear, you know. Take time, we'll save up and get it. But anyways, folks, I'm going to jump off. Really good chatting to you all. I'll pop on tomorrow night, and we'll take it from there. But from the bottom of my heart, folks, thanks very much for watching the channel. As I said, do subscribe if you haven't, and be more videos put up tomorrow because I'm off tomorrow. So speak to you all soon. Get all off his chest, and hopefully we might be linked to 1 or 2 players tomorrow and a bit of activity. Speak to you all then, folks. Take care. Hell.